Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Sarah Newman, and I'm really looking forward to showing you this gorgeous set from our friends at 49 and Market called the Christmas Spectacular Collection. There's pattern paper plus a lot of matching embellishments, including 2 packs of rub-ons plus ephemera, acetate foliage, laser cut elements, and washi tape. So I'm going to move aside our embellishments and we will take a closer look at those in a minute, but I thought we could start with our patterned papers and have a look there. So this set contains 28 sheets of 6 by 8 inch papers, and I'll flip this over so you can see the combinations on the back here. So this is what you're getting inside. You'll have 3 each of 9 double-sided papers, so there's a lot to work with. And you can see here the gorgeous designs, so inspiring, really just beautiful. True to 49 and Market style, you're going to have some beautiful collage images on here. You'll have some florals, you'll have some script, there's some nice plaid in here as well, and just gorgeous designs, so easy to work with. Now, in addition to the pattern papers, the all-over designs, you also have a sheet of fussy cut elements here too. So you've got those to play with as well. Okay, now let's take a look at the rub-ons. So you've got 2 sets of rub-ons here. And as you can see, the designs in here, beautiful to work with. You've got one with foliage, and then the other one features words, borders, accents, and images. And it's maybe a little bit easier for you to see on these sheets here, so you can really get a sense of the design. And also, of course, these can be used individually. You can also mix and match, which is, of course, what I am going to be doing. Now, in addition, you have a package of acetate foliage, and I know this is virtually impossible to see what's inside. Maybe you can get a better sense when I turn it over. Now, this contains 44 accents. You'll have 2 each of 22 designs, and the acetate foliage is something a little bit different. So I love working with this because not only does it give you something that is just visually beautiful, it's also a different texture. So they're really nice and tactile to work with, and they blend in beautifully with some of the collage papers. Of course, you can also use them on something that is a little bit darker, and this can pop out really beautifully. So we'll talk about ways to use those, ways to glue them down too, which may be a question that you have in your mind. All right, now let's take a look at some of our paper embellishments here. You have the ephemera bits pack, and this contains 134 pieces. You've got words, you've got sentiments, labels, and tags. Then you've got the laser cut elements pack, and this contains 97 accents. You've got trees, you've got ornaments, you've got presents. You can see them all here. The nice thing is on the other side of the front of the package, you've got some fussy cut elements there too. The rest of these items all just pop right out and you're ready to go and get to work with those. Now, last but not least, we have 3 rolls of washi tape. Absolutely gorgeous and super versatile to work with. Now, let me show you what they look like on white paper, which is how I put them on here. So you can see you've got 3 different sizes of washi tape. The widest one is 1 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's kind of a star collage. Then there's a 3/4 inch wide strip of text and a narrow 1/4 inch wide strip of distressed stripes. Again, so easy to work with and absolutely beautiful. And I would wager that you could use these not only for Christmas time, but for other occasions as well. So there is so much to play with in this collection today. So much to work with and so much fun to have. And of course, because it's 49 in Market, we know it's going to be so easy to mix and match and combine these elements to make beautiful cards for Christmas and other winter occasions. I'm really glad you're here today, and I can't wait to get into the projects with you. So come play with us. Let's start with this festive card, which uses the papers, rub-ons, laser cut elements, ephemera bits, washi tape, and on the inside, acetate. So basically everything in today's collection. And we can begin with our focal element. So this floral image here. This is a rub-on from the Foliage Rub-On set. And I applied it to plain white cardstock, then die cut it into a rectangle and layered it with foam tape onto a scalloped rectangle that you can see under here. Now rub-ons are really easy to apply, so let's take a look at how to do that. I've got a little snippet of the patterned cardstock, and I've got one of my rub-on sheets here. So what you'll do is decide which element you want to use, element or elements, I should say, because you can leave things in their groupings if you want to. So for example, with this tree down here, I can use my scissors to just cut out the tree to use as my rub-on, or I could keep this grouping together if I wanted to as well. So lots of choices there. Now what I've done is I've snipped out these two trees and then also the sentiment on here because I kind of like how this all goes together. The important thing to keep in mind is that the rub-ons have two layers. So you have your top layer, which is the image, and then this back layer here, which is the liner. So keep those two together when you're snipping your piece out from the main sheet. And then you can kind of keep them together when you're figuring out where you want this to go. And then what I suggest you do, pull off the liner, make sure that you're not touching the back of the design on here because it can transfer onto your fingers pretty easily if you're not careful. And then you can sort of figure out where exactly do I want this to go. So I'm going to position this here and then just gently tap that down and smooth it down with my hands. Now there's a bit of stick on the back of the rub-on, so it's not going to go anywhere, but that will keep things in place as I'm doing my transferring. Inside the package, you've got an applicator here. You'll notice a nice angled tip, and what I'm going to do is just burnish gently but firmly with this tool, kind of going around all the edges and the sides. It does have a nice tip. You're not going to be stabbing into this. Do keep it at an angle and just gently but firmly coming along here around the outside edge. Any details, you really want to make sure to burnish that down. And of course across the center as well. Then when you think you've got it pretty much all transferred, you've been really thorough and gotten all of those various edges and details, then what you can do is gently and slowly start peeling back this top piece. And I say gently and slowly because if you notice, like I did, that this little pine bow didn't transfer perfectly, you can place it back and go back and re-burnish that. So it's nice and easy to do. It gives you a really good foolproof kind of transferring method. Okay, so I'm going to walk this around here and lift this up. Looks like we're good to go there. How about that number? I'm just for added security going to go back and do a bit more. And let's see. Oops, yep. Number 1. And there we are. Have I done it? I think I have. Okay, nothing left on the sheet there, but I've got my beautiful rub-on element. And it does add a nice touch, not only to white cardstock, but as you can see here, onto some gently patterned paper as well. So let's take another look back here at our card. So here's my whole focal element. I've got that beautiful flower and also this collage artwork going around the outside edges. So a beautiful, simple, and very dramatic card focal ready to go. Now the other thing I want to bring your attention to is this little loop up here at the top. Now this is made with the striped washi tape. So this is one of the 3 washi tape designs that come in that box together. It's a really nice kind of distressed stripe, which I think you could use all year round. And what I've done is I've just pulled off a bit of that and I've put the 2 sticky sides together to create a bit of a loop. And then I'm going to smooth that down. So I've got a piece of washi tape that is sticky side to sticky side. And then what I've done is folded it over to create a loop like so. And then I've just simply tucked that underneath this little ephemera bit. So it fits in there really nicely and creates another nice bit of texture on here as well. Now my card background is 2 pattern papers. I've got this gorgeous tartan design and this really pretty soft collage. Now I trimmed this down a bit smaller than my card front. I like the contrast with this white border and especially with a darker pattern paper here. But the white border also coordinates nicely with the white cardstock of my card focal. So I've got the tartan, then I've got the collage, and then I have some laser cut pine bows and a laser cut Merry Christmas, plus the die cut Deck the Halls. This is popped up on some foam tape as well. Then for my card inside, I have a beautiful collage pattern paper onto which I've added a rub-on from the classic set. And that's this frame that you see here with some foliage as well. Blends in really nicely. Then I have another strip of that striped washi tape here. And if you'll notice these little kind of faux stitch marks on there, those are rub-ons. And I've simply applied those onto the washi tape. So you can apply a rub-on on top of washi tape as well. Works beautifully and gives you another little bit of texture and dimension. I've got some more washi tape down here, so the words and then some more of that stripe, just torn strips overlapping this collage. Now this element that you see here is an acetate piece, and I've just glued that right onto the background paper and it blends in beautifully. For this card, I've used the acetate piece as my card focal, and I love how it adds some depth and shine to the design. So let's talk about adhesive and acetate. Well, I like to use the Specialist acrylic glue. I've got a nice big bottle of this here, and I've got some of it decanted into a smaller bottle. Now this one is the fine tip glue applicator from Crafter's Companion, and it's great for really precise application. So let me show you how. I'm going to move aside my card and bring in some of the collage pattern paper here, and I'll bring in one of the foliage pieces so you can see how beautiful that is. But now how to glue it down. Well, first of all, I'm going to figure out kind of where I want this to go, and then I'm going to simply take the little pin out of my applicator bottle and then flip this over, and I'm going to simply apply a little bit of adhesive. This is where the precision applicator comes in handy. Just a little bit of adhesive, focusing mainly on some of those darker areas of the design. I'm not going to overdo it. A little bit will hold everything down. And then maybe just up a bit at these tips here too, so that nothing kind of pops up on the sides, like so. And then simply flip this over and position it down. So I've been pretty judicious with my glue application, so I don't have everything kind of squashing out from underneath, but it's not going to show through there either. So then all I need to do is wait a few minutes for that to dry, and I am ready to go. Okay, so back to the card. Now again, I'm using the rectangle and scallop dies. These are from hot off the press, and they just work beautifully for creating a spotlight for your main image or images. Then I have this sentiment from the Ephemera Bits set and a faux ribbon from the laser cut set. Now more rectangles are here with this pattern paper, and I've placed it all on the card front, which is covered by this green plaid. Then for my card inside, I have another acetate piece here, plus this sweet ephemera message. Okay, I've got another card that I want to show you here. Now with this card, I have also my pattern papers. I've got a rub-on that's going along the border of the card front. So I've got a white card base, and I've just applied the border right on here. I've also got some black and white foliage rub-ons. You can see them here and here. And I like how it creates some depth on the patterned paper. Now this element here is also an acetate piece, and I like how it creates a nice frame on either corner of the card focal, which is a sweet Santa image from the Ephemera Bits pack. And I have a little ephemera sentiment down here at the corner. Then for the card inside, I have another one of those black and white rub-ons. Now, let me show you these. Hang on a second. I've got a snippet of them here. So many of the rub-ons are, of course, color, but some of them are black and white, which look beautiful as they are, even when you're putting them onto pattern paper, as I did here. But you can also put them onto white or light cardstock and color them in, which is what I've done here. So let me put this to one side and bring in the rub-on that I've already applied onto this patterned paper. So I've simply done as we've done before, trimmed this out and rubbed it onto my background paper. And then I can color this in. Now I'm using markers from the Spectrum Noir line, and these are alcohol markers. They're a tri-blend marker, and you can see on here the 3 sections of this. So I have a light, I've got a mid, and I've got a dark tip on here. I'm going to take this one here. Now this one is the dark red blend. All I need to do is pop off the cap here, and I've got my darker red. So I can just come in here and color these little berries. Nice tip on here, gives me some precision. Now that was the dark color. If I wanted the mid, I just need to open it up in the center. And for the light, I've got my other end as well. So you're basically getting 3 shades of one color in one pen. So this is the dark red blend. Then I've also got the dull green blend. So I'm going to come in here. Let's use the mid and color in my leaves. So this is a nice way, again, when you're working with your rub-ons, you've got so many different creative options, and this is just one of them. And I love this, especially with those black and white images. It really allows you to either take advantage of a classic black and white effect, but also to add some of your own color to things. So here you can see just coming in, kind of scribbling in the color here, not being too terribly careful, because I think you get the point of this. But some really nice options here as well. Okay, so this is with the mid. Now I can't resist. I'm going to come in with the dark and kind of add some detailing on here too. So don't forget, you colorists out there can also add in a little bit of shading if you want to. Come back with the lightest and maybe work this in a little bit and blend it. So lots of creative possibilities with these rub-ons. Every time I use them, I discover something else that I think is really fun. So again, working with the tri-blend markers from Crafter's Companion. And the 2 that I'm using are the dark red and the dull green. So there are lots of other colors as well, and you can have a lot of fun with those too. Okay, bring back in my card and we can take another look at this. So again, there's my colorful rub-ons on the inside, and then I've got a really nice little sentiment down there as well. Super easy. Okay, I have one more project to share with you, so let me gather my dies and we will take a look. Now this project is something like a card plus. It is a mini folder, which I made with the mini folder cutting die from hot off the press. Now on the inside, you can see I've got 2 pockets, and I can tuck in some tags and messages like so. And on this side, I've got a little gift card, mini gift card holder that I made with the mini envelope and gift card holder die. So a lot going on here. It is a card plus, but it's so easy to make and great fun when you have such a beautiful coordinating stash of supplies. So I'm going to close this up, and let's take a look first of all at the die that I'm working with. So you can see here in this die package, you've got 3 individual dies which will come together to create your mini folder. So you have your main piece here, and then you've got 2 pockets that are going to go together. So the 6x8 patterned papers in today's collection are perfect for this because they perfectly fit the die. So the main folder measures 8 inches by 5.5 when it's open. You can see here when I position this down, I've got it perfectly fitted on there. So I'm only really going to be cutting off a little bit top and bottom, but I am also going to get that score line there. So what I want to do is position this down, secure it with some low tack tape, and run it through my die cutting machine. And then I'm going to end up with a piece, well, that looks like this. So this is just plain white cardstock, but you can see here I've got that folded line on there. I do really recommend using a bone folder to score this. We'll make it a little bit easier. And then there you go. So this is the main portion of your mini folder. Now those two other dies that are included are going to be your pockets. And I've got some pockets that I've cut here. Same process as before. Going to kind of figure out which side of your paper you want to use. And then simply die cut those. So these are going to come like so. Again, you've got your score lines on there, just fold them up. Now you can decide if you want this pocket to go this way, for example, or if you want it to go this way. So you can have tall pockets or short ones. I decided to go with the short ones. So I fold those in, score them really well, and then simply glue them down like so. So just on the edges, of course, and then you've got your pockets. And you can decorate as you wish. Okay, so I'm going to bring back in my little folder. And you can see on the front, I've got some rub-ons on here. I've got this tree and the sentiment ephemera. These are popped up on foam tape. And then I've got a ribbon laser cut up here at the top. Now the tree, again, up on foam tape, as are the detail portions of this ribbon here too. Make sure it doesn't kind of collapse on there. Then when I open this up, you can see my pockets here, this really fun stripe. This is the fussy cut sheet actually from the paper pack. So you can use it all as one piece as well. And for my pockets, I've decided to fill those with 2 ephemera elements. So let me pull these out here. You can see, got another loop of that washi tape and a little tab on there. And this is the back of the folder, so again with that patterned paper. And then these 2 pieces here are ephemera, some of the larger ephemera. So you can see here with this one, I've got a little bit of the acetate, I've got some of those really nice elements on there. I've got a rub-on going across here as well. On the other side, I've got a strip of that wider washi tape. And then I've got a tag up on here. I've got some more of the black and white rub-ons, which I've colored in again. And again, these are going up onto some of that washi tape. Here's a little bit more of the acetate and then one of those fun tags. Then for this piece here, I've got my little mini gift card holder. I've got that accented with some acetate and again, another nice little message on there. So let's take a look at the mini gift card holder. And that's this die here. Now, if you've watched the webisodes, you know I use this shape a whole lot. And I thought today it's going to be perfect to use this narrower one on the tag because that fits so nicely and just gives a really nice base and something to tuck inside my mini folder. So let's look at this one here. I'll move aside these guys. And this is the die. So all I need to do is figure out where on my pattern paper I want to die cut. Now one thing to keep in mind, the bottom will fold up. So you'll do want to have a look on the other side of your pattern paper and just make sure that whatever you're folding up will read correctly. And then I'm just going to score this up. Again, use that bone folder. Make sure to really crease that. I've got my side flaps as well. I'm going to crease those too. And then simply fold this up. I'm going to tuck those flaps around the back and secure them down, and I have my little pocket. And this will perfectly fit a standard gift card from your favorite shop, bookshop, coffee shop, and so on. And it makes a really nice little accent, especially when you've got it popped up onto one of these sweet little tags here. And then of course that can go right inside our mini envelope along with the other one. And of course, photos, recipes, messages, so many different things that you can tuck inside these pockets for something like a card plus. And this is our final project of the day today. So a big thank you to our friends at 49 and Market for this gorgeous collection of supplies. I think you can see that I had a very, very good time playing with these this weekend. And I do thank you for joining me today. We're really so glad that you're here, and we're happy that you're a part of our Paper Wishes family. Please feel free to leave a comment. We do love to hear what you think. Each item can be purchased separately, and you can see them below. However, we've also bundled them into a creative money saver just for you. For the money saver, see this webisode on paperwishes.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, have a look in the description box below this video. You'll find a link that will take you to our Paper Wishes webisodes page, and you can see everything I just mentioned. If you enjoyed our video today, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It does help people to find our channel. And don't forget to subscribe. We create 3 to 5 videos each week, so there's always something fun to inspire your creative spirit.